Let's face it, the standard best of one ladder is overrun with aggro decks. Whether it be the Rakdos, let me pretend I'm not mono red, but still a mono red aggro deck, the actual mono red aggro deck, rabbits, bats, whatever it may be, lizards. There's a lot of aggressively slanted decks on the ladder itself, and they do make up a big meta share. There is a deck that has kind of gone under the radar in best of three, and I think it could be potentially well suited for the best of one meta. So something we're going to try out today is see if this deck is something that is one that we can kind of adapt from best of three into best of one. What we're going to do is do a gameplay demo of the deck in action, couple games, and at the end I will share my stats on how we performed in best of one, some thoughts and stuff like that. So we'll demo it, give you the full kind of breakdown in terms of how it actually performed, and see if we can kind of break it. And introducing the deck to make Nicol Bolas themselves proud, we got Grixis Control. So in best of three, this deck is a 61% win rate deck, 62%. It is a base blue-black splash Ral Crackling Witt deck. So there's the full sideboard here. But what we're going to do is we are going to hop over to the actual arena client and take a look at this deck. We did make a couple changes for the best of one meta, and I'll walk you through those there. But Ral's very strong in terms of a token creator. It can provide us card draw, which is nice. And then it can give us an emblem where instant sorcery spells you control have storm. For the most part, it's going to be kind of make tokens, draw cards, kind of value engine. It gets more loyalty whenever we cast non-creature spells. What I did was in the main board, I brought in another copy of a Braid over the Deadly Cover-Up number 3. There is Urbrass Forge decks, just having flexible removal for 1 mana. I do think it's worthwhile here. So that would be our red portion of the deck. In the sideboard, there would be more copies of like a Braid that you would see here for basically those forges predominantly. But what kind of draws me to this deck is these aggro decks are so rampant. So having access to like cut down, go for the throat against like the mono red decks, Deadly Cover-Up is a sweeper, Virtues for some life gain, but you can also play that instant speed game with 3 steps ahead as a counter. You have Deduce, Shauna's Tidebinder against all these classes. You can stifle them, which is kind of cool. And then a card, I'm just interested in kind of playing it out. So Thunder Trap Trainer, 2 mana, it's like an Augur or Bolus. You reveal non-creature, non-land. And put it into your hand, put the rest of the bottom of your library, and we can offspring it late game to get 2 card draws out of it. So something I want to see how that plays out. Aclazot's on the top end of the deck. The other change I made to the deck, I just went down 1 Fable Passage, up 1 Underground River. I think it's very important for us to have 1 to 2 mana untapped early in the game, potentially have access to cut down or the spells there. So I will see you in the games. We're going to give this one a shot, and make sure to stop by at the wrap-up section of the video to see how the deck performed. We'll catch you in the games. All right, some Grixis time. Opponent goes first. I think this is fine. Action versus aggro decks if needed. See what they target here. They went Feldon. Gee, interesting. I think I deduce here. I think we get rid of you. Just set up for like long goodbye. They deal 1 damage here, but they don't get the card advantage. We do want to hit a land drop if possible. Not the best, but not the worst. We need untap blind. Need to be able to deadly cover up. The one downside outside of Back God, there's not really much life gain in this list. I'm gonna turn off Scamp's ability. So now this is just a vanilla creature. Makes it worse. Actually interesting. Because like I can trade here, sweep their board. Can obviously just kill it and play the longer game. Black source here. Card. Depending what we do, we have 3 steps ahead as well. So here, I messed that up. Shouldn't have done that. I should have countered, because it forces me to counter the thing there. They've also just been pure gas, 2 mana. Virtue here. Last turn. We just want to play like the long game now, just try to set up. We can get Virtue going. So this one can die. Do I care about that? 1, 2. So I still have the counter up and I could kill something. Might have been right to counter that. Those 2 spells there for them. I missed the chance to counter that. That was a little bit of a misplay. The sequencing's a little weird with this deck. How many Heartfires? How many Scamps? So they still have Scamp left. They still have Slick Shot. Just kind of get him this way here. We're gonna take 2 from this. And then I think we get rid of the Cacophony Scamp. So 2 Feldons, 3 Slick Shots, bunch of Monstrous Rage and stuff, because this is the one that could just deal a whole bunch of damage to me. So it's the one I'm most scared of. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We just want to get to 9 mana. Back in here. We hit a Slick Shot, which isn't bad. We probably end up countering this turn. If I do this, I have access to 2 mana, so I can kill whatever they play. I could have the one that makes a 2/2, but fine. I think we get Slick Shot just because it could block the flyers as well. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we have enough. Go for the throat. this game's over. Sweet. Just kill everything and then just stabilize with some Tishanas. We played a little sloppy, but kind of learning the deck. Just the sequencing with like the triggers and stuff does play a big effect in that. But we'll catch you in the next one, actually. Grixis control time. Let's see how we play out. Just got into Diamond, haven't been playing too much Constructed, but there was a lot of aggressive decks. So we go first. Kind of annoying that we don't have any of our non-basics, but I think the hand's relatively fine otherwise. Depending on what they play out, we can set up the Thunder Trainer. Okay, so this hand's pretty soft against Domain, which is what we don't want to see. So let's just get this going. I think we're on Deduce right now. We need to hit land drops, I think, at this point, and have some pressure. We're a ways away from Ral. So unfortunately, we don't have 3 steps up yet. Okay, so that's not too bad. We could also potentially copy afterwards. Put you at the bottom. The Horn Lock out of our opponent. That's fine. I should have killed it, actually. That was a mistake on my end. But we have the Deadly Cover up, so it's probably fine. I don't think these cut downs are going to do too much, but if we can get enough for the cover up and then just exile some stuff could be good. We can also just draw discard here. I think that's worth countering. Just given that it gives them card advantage. Geez, not even a line drop. Get rid of Long Goodbye. Let's get rid of Cut Down. Oh, actually, we don't need to get rid of both. Long Goodbye might have text. May have made more sense to discard something a little heavier. Could have got Aclazotz going, but we'll wait one more turn, see what we have. I don't want to come down with like Roxelin or something. We did hit Ral. That's fine, I think. So that has Ward 2. So we have a couple options here. I could get rid of the Horn Lock. I can play Aclazotz, block for the turn, try to get them to bait a little bit more. But the problem is, like, we just haven't hit mana, which has been a bit awkward, all things considered. I do think we just Deadly Cover up here. So I have to get rid of 6. And I think I'm going to get rid of Roxelin. So they have another Horned Whale, they have Bonnie Paw. They're just like a big mana ramp deck. World Soul's Rage in here. Cornucopium. And then we have to discard, so let's discard the long goodbye. Would have loved to have one more mana up. So they can copy our thing. Don't really want to give them morale. Let's see, let's do this. Kill Bonnie. A little bit of an awkward matchup. I made a mistake there. I forgot this can deal with the Bonnie Paul token, which would have allowed us, while we still have the 2-for-1, it wouldn't be as bad. The mana's been a bit awkward this game. This not having trample's fine. This is a matchup where we are a little bit punished for getting rid of the other long goodbye. Or not long goodbye, the deadly cover-up. They do have the option to animate here. They can hit Ral for a bit. That prevents them from playing to the board. We'll just take the block here. If they're distracted with Ral, it could buy us time. That down's not going to do much. Just going to go Virtue here. They want to kill Ral, they have to go 2. They haven't shown... Like, they can Virtue here, or Doppelgang, if they want. They can take my Virtue, but I get the first crack, and I get my own Bonnie Paw. They get 2 creatures here. We don't really have many creatures, so if I could steal one of theirs, I could get a Bonnie Paw. It can just help to try to race things. Fortunately, we don't do well with enchantments. We draw 3 here. We are just not drawing anything. So I could Tashana's one of these, which isn't too bad. Get rid of Cut Down. So play the land 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's play out Aclazotz here. And pass the turn. So here, I think that coming into play is fine. We do Tashana this Virtue. And then what I can do is trade it off and then just reanimate this on my own. They could potentially sweep here. I do think I want to keep Aclazotz alive if possible. This legendary. Could potentially discard enough here to just kill me with the Bonnie Paw, or the bow token. We don't have Jaces to mill them. I think they only play like one Doppelgang in this list, so it's like extra tilting. So we do have the token here. I could block. Second tier. So they could do it for 5. It would kill the Hornlock Whale. They do it for 3. So Bonnie dies. I'll trade the bows, I think, here. I think we do this. Because they're going to make a token anyway, so we wouldn't be able to attack. We just go Aclazotz here again. I don't think they're going to be playing out Cornucopia, so let's just go Thunder Trap Trainer here. Try to find maybe a counterspell. Another Go for the Throat's not bad. That might be the angle we have to kind of play at. Because I can kill the Ral potentially. Like all we have is Tishana, which doesn't do anything. I can take out Kellen. Gives me another flyer. I think it's fine letting him draw. These don't incidentally have reach. Oh, this has reach. Oh, what I could do is I can kill the Dreadmaw Enforcer and then reanimate it, hit my trainer, which could be kind of cool. Ill-timed. They are at 24 cards. Getting rid of Roxanne was good because they just can't keep pinging us. And then these just being non-legendary helps. No! Okay, now we lost. Forgot about the charms that they had. So yeah. This is one of those matchups that post-board you would have to rely on heavier amount of counters. The way this deck's built, we really want to play against aggressive decks. You could see these games where we've had nothing but removal in hand. Hasn't been great for us. I think taking out Ral could be important here. Problem is, we're just not going to be able to stabilize. Then their Bonnie token's going to be bigger than ours. And they keep drawing. They're at 17. If we could win this game, it's going to be because they draw out. So I don't think life matters. See if they want to attack in, draw another card. What do they want to do? That could be a bit scary. This deck's very much leaning on like Ill-Time and Ancient Cornucopia to do a lot of the work early game. Scry, draw another card. So we'd have to cast like 5 spells. See Kellen come down. Kill Bo. So we can make another token. That goes back. We have some removal, buy some time, try to ultimate. We're bigger than anything they have on board right now. It's a really interesting game. See if they target their own. They don't. See what else they have going on here. They could have the fight effect. That's fine. I'm gonna let them draw with Bonnie Paw. They most likely have this. I just want to see if in the off chance that they draw themselves. Because, like, they are playing pretty loose with it. Especially if they're going to fetch now. They're down to, like, 9. I can sweep them. So, Ral would go to 2. I needed to have 1 more loyalty. Take that. They're at 9. Question is, we probably get rid of Bonnie Paw. 1 whale. No World Souls. Okay, so we just have to naturally top deck our deadly. Might have been right to hold off a little bit longer on Virtue. They probably copied Niv. But they did have, like, main board answers to it, so it would get us. Alright, they got us. More Grixis goodness. Alright, watch. We've had a ton of games against the red decks, and this is going to be like control now. Ah. Okay, we do need some spells, would be nice. We don't need the Sekla and Aklazats. I think we hold off. I want to catch them wasting a spell. So we don't get to go Aklazats next turn, but it lets me draw a card. Like, preemptively played a land. See what the play out here. Wanted to bait them there. Get blocked. Are taking quite a bit. That is a good one. Block the ground, kill the top end. I think we're just doing that. Then trying to stabilize. Okay, so no pause there. Sick. But it just decided too much. Too much. Alrighty. More Grixis goodies. See what our opponent has in store for us. Okay, so I think we're gonna lead with Darkslick Shores. Lets me cut down on one if needed, and then I can play Thunder Trap. Do what I want to do. Because if we did it the other way, then I'd be forced to holding up counters. This way now I have access to removal and a few different options. Heartfire. We're just doing this turn. Because they were playing around cut down. I think we still do this. Ended up playing a bunch of spells. We should have let them target first. That was a bit of a mistake. So we do need a removal spell here. So sequencing was a little poor there for me, but I should have probably held the cut down at that point. Assuming... Wow, no effects. Parade's not bad. Should have flashed into Shana. Would have loved to have. Yeah, that pumps him out. Ah, they got me. They got me. So in the end, if we blocked Codebreaker, we would have been okay. Might have been right to kind of force it out of them. and then we could have hit the prowess trigger. Wrap up time. So we went 2 and 3 with the deck. We lost to that Temur Ramp deck, which isn't really a meta deck. The thing is, I think in this format, Temur control is probably better. We lost a lot of games just due to awkward mana. The Rals against mono red in that are a bit too slow. It would let you play something else in the spot, just more virtues, just things for more life gain. You can go up the number of counters, which could be more reasonable, play a more flash-oriented game. I think that would be the better route going forward. There was a number of games where we just kind of got ground down, just not enough ways to gain life in the shell. Having all the removal is very good against these decks, but if you can't kind of stabilize, Ral's just not quick enough. Because even these mono red decks, they have so many ways to give trample or just flash flying, stuff like that, that it's able to kind of get you in a way that normally you wouldn't. So I think maybe the next step would be exploring it in a different format, or sorry, in just a Temur shell. I think in best of 3, it could be a lot more reasonable. You have access to like Shieldred's, Glistening Deluge. This deck's not as prevalent in terms of the super linear mono red aggro decks, and you can also kind of trim on a little bit more of the awkward stuff. Not having a 4 mana or a 3 mana sweeper in the main also is a little bit tricky in terms of the deck. But let me know what you think. Catch you next time. Thanks for watching.